Alright, so you've got a Binary Explorer board, and what do you look at now, or what should you do? The first thing I want to show you is a few errors that crept into the design that got shipped. So these labels here, the 7-segment labels on the board, are wrong. They're reversed from what they should be. On the back side, there's this ISP pinout here is wrong. It's mirrored, so on the top there's some markings for ground and VCC. Those are correct. It's just that silk screen there is in error. And down here at the bottom, this PB01.00 and PB01.01 is wrong. So these are all detailed on the wiki page that'll be linked with the video. Another thing to be aware of is we've had some people where there isn't enough solder on the USB connector ground pins. I guess that was something that slipped through manufacturing. So right there, if you have a soldering iron and you're handy with it, you can add just a tiny bit of solder if you want to be more sure that it won't snap off. But if you're gentle, this shouldn't be an issue anyway. So when you first plug it in, it has a default application loaded, and you can use the reset switch to turn the count on and off. And as you toggle some of the switches, the LEDs will also toggle upwards, just like this. All right, so that sort of shows you that the whole thing's working. The other thing you might have is a kit, and what's in the kit? Well, there's a few resistors. So the individual resistor and will look something like this. Just try to get my camera to focus here. And on the resistor, there's a number of colors if you look at them carefully, and those colors tell you what the value is. So there's the resistor color code. You can look it up on Wikipedia or similar. They'll come on strips of paper, and all of the ones on these strips of paper or tape are the same value, and the values should actually be written there. So these are 3.3 kilo ohm resistors, and there's about 20 of them. So again, if you take them off the tape and forget, you can get it based on the color code. So here's 1K, these are 10K resistors, and so forth. All right, so some other things. These are ceramic capacitors. Capacitors will be used for filtering mainly here, as well as if you're using logic ICs, you'll need some. The value is written on them using a special code, and you can see any ones that have the same number. So this one, 473, for example. All of the 473s have the same number. There's 104, which is 1 microfarad. The 103 one is 0.1 microfarad or 100 nanofarads. This device here is a diode, which lets electricity flow one way. There's a little stripe. That silver stripe indicates the negative side of it. We'll use some of these when powering motors and stuff like that for protecting some other devices. This is a transistor, which is basically an electronic switch. There's a number of them. They're all the same in the kit. They're all these 2N222 part that you can read on them. The 2N222 is a pretty standard transistor. This is a variable resistor, a potentiometer. There's a marking 1K at the top, 1 kilo ohm. As you turn the knob, it varies the resistance. This little guy here is a small 3-volt motor, so don't connect it to the 5 volts on the BORA. That will damage it. There's a negative and positive, and if you reverse those, it'll spin one direction or the other direction. Here we have another capacitor. These are electrolytic, and they are a lot higher value. So this is 220 microfarads. There's a negative side marked on them, and the values written on them. There's a box of wire or a baggie of wires too, so they're all just different colors for convenience. And the ends here handily fit into either the breadboard or the little connector posts on the Binary Explorer itself. So there's just some plastic handles that help you fit them in and out, and you can fit a bunch of them together. The ICs here are integrated circuits. There might be a big one if you have the advanced kit. So this is the AVR. that you program with the Arduino or C language or whatever. The rest of them, there's two that are the same. Two of them are LM339. These are comparator chips. And you can see the written very faintly on it right there, LM339. And the first two are LM339. The next two are logic chips. So there's two different ones, 74HC00. You can see written there, so 7400. And the other one is 7404, 74HC04. There's a whole bunch of other markings that you really don't care about. At the end of the day, it's LM339, 7400, and 7404 is really all you care about. All right, hope this answered some questions about what all the parts are in the kit. Thanks, guys.